That's a wrap on today's episode of Main Street Minds. Want to share your journey with our audience? Head over to mainstreetmindspodcast.com/guest to apply.
Hello and welcome to Main Street Minds. Today we have a very special guest, Marcella Silva, with us. And the best part, she's local right here in my neighborhood. I got introduced to Marcella a few months ago and very excited to have her on my show today, sharing some real secret investment opportunities, but more importantly, getting to know Marcella and knowing how she kind of made the transition into something that's so cool. So without any further delay, Marcella, share all your secrets.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Amish. It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And yeah, I'm here to share about the best kept secret in real estate, which is dirt, land. We all use it every single day. It can never be replaced. It will never disappear. It can't be hacked. And it's one of those assets, like I was telling Amish earlier, it just continues to rise in value when you buy it correctly, simply because they're not making any more of it. And it's a very limited resource that, like I said, we all use. So yeah, what I specialize in is called land banking specifically, which is the very strategic and highly researched practice of buying affordable, pre-developed land located in the path of growth. So I'm sure all of you have experienced what land banking is, but you haven't really paid attention to what it is. So if you just think about like the area maybe where you grew up, or maybe where you live today, 20 years ago, what it used to look like. There probably was a lot less development, especially if you're here in California, compared to what it looks like today. So imagine being able to own key pieces of land like McDonald's does in these growing areas. That's what we help people do in a highly researched way, is find high growth areas where there's still affordable developable land for folks. And when I say affordable, I mean, people can invest for as little as $25,000 with us. This isn't just for the wealthy. And we're here to create wealth for everyone. And it's a great diversification. So how I actually found it was, I used to be a software engineer working at a government laboratory. So I had a high security clearance and everything. It was, it was a great job straight out of college. I was super excited. And in 2007, when I was working there, they went through a major transition. And as a result of that, they completely changed all of their benefits, which caused them to change, their retirement. So I had to make a decision. Do I take the old 401k and roll it into the new 401k program, or do I do something else with it? And this is in 2007. I vividly remember sitting at my kitchen table thinking to myself, the only way this goes up is when I put money into it. This is ridiculous. I'm never going to be able to retire at this rate. I have to do something different. And what the heck is this 401k even invested in? Like, I don't understand it. And when do you ever hear in the news about someone creating wealth through their 401k? It just doesn't happen. The people making the money are the ones managing the 401k and selling all those things. So I knew I wanted something that was real, tangible, that actually went up in value. And that started me on my journey to find a real estate investment, because real estate is the obvious choice, especially here in California. As you know, Amish, you're very much involved in the real estate industry. And what's happening with all of the prices here? They just continue to go up and up and up. So I started going to investment seminars, reading books, just educating myself. I even got my real estate license. Not that I plan on selling it. That was kind of the nerdy brain that I have as a software engineer. And along the way, I decided I really didn't want to be a landlord doing tenants, toilets, and termites. Not that that's bad or that that's wrong. That just wasn't for me. I didn't have the time, patience, or resources for that. I didn't want to do fix and flip stuff. I'm not going to go swing a hammer. I didn't have a crew of people to do that. So no, I wasn't going to do that. I didn't give up. I continued educating myself. And along the way, the universe brought me someone who sat literally right next to me at a seminar and started telling me about land banking. I was like, what the heck is that? I'd never heard about that. Nobody ever talks about investing in land.
Yeah.
And there, I found out it's because land is very difficult to invest in if you don't know what you're doing,
Hmm.
especially land banking. So I found this company who had been doing it for decades, and that was their specialty. They had that specialty niche of helping people invest in a passive investment. And that's what I was looking for, some sort of investment that I could put my money into and just let it work. I didn't want to deal with it, put more money in, just let it grow. And I live my life. And that's what I love about land banking the most is it's set it and forget it. I'm making money while I sleep without having to. Life is stressful enough, okay? I don't need extra stress from my investments. So that's what brought me to land banking. And within the first year, in 2008, I took my old 401k, rolled it into self-directed IRA before everything crashed in '08. So this was at the very beginning of the year, thank goodness. And within the first year of me buying my land, the value more than doubled. So I was very happy with my investment. I ended up meeting the owners of the company and just fell in love with the people there. It's like a family, and they opened arms wide, invited me to be a part of their company. And ultimately, I decided to retire from being a software engineer to become a full-time land banker. And so I've been helping people invest in land ever since. And it's been an amazing opportunity in multiple different ways.
That is amazing. So and so you had a need to find something and you identified your own key strengths and like identified your own goals and that kind of transitioned into something that worked for you, right? Uh, when I meet a lot of investors, many times they are just not even aware what they want, and anybody that generally asks me saying the right answer generally is like ask yourself like what are your goals, right? Set up your own goals and then it will make sense whether something is going to work for you or not work for you. Uh, don't take unnecessary risks when you have better returns with reduced risk, just like land banking. Like there is no need to go and do something that you're not comfortable with, just as like you identified like what you didn't want to do. So that is just amazing. Like asking the right questions to yourself, and and it helps to do the right investments with that approach.
Yeah, I
So,
appreciate you saying that, Amish. I'm glad
yeah.
that you direct people that way because I know in just in life, forgetting investing, just when I have an intention for growth in my life and I put it out there and I'm clear on that what that intention is, the universe always brings it to me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you did mention about doubling or tripling your money in the worst of the economic situation. So tell us more, like what what's the minimum requirement? How does somebody get started with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So land is considered a non-correlated asset, so it doesn't follow the traditional market ups and downs of like housing or the stock market, that type of thing, simply because land is a finite asset. Here's a little secret, they're not making any more of it. So when you buy land specifically in high growth areas, there's less and less of it available. So what simple supply and demand economics, what happens to the value of it? It continues to go up. So that's how land just works in a general
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
And even more specifically, so the company that I represent, they've been doing this for 46 years. They didn't just, you might just be hearing about it now. We've been doing it a very long time. And it's through just tremendous experience, data analysis and correlation, research, relationships, just overall knowledge that we're able to create this amazing opportunity for investors to invest for starting as little as 25,000 on
Mm.
up. And it's all cash investments or doing self-directed IRAs, 401k rollovers, that type of thing. I have a lot of people who are doing 1031 exchanges. So
Mhm.
for example, I met with a recent one of my investors just this past weekend, and he had purchased multiple different rental properties. Well, he had gotten to the point where he couldn't deal with it anymore. It was stressing him out. It was a lot of work. And those properties kind of maxed out on the value of where they were going as far as
Hmm.
equity went. But he wanted to continue to grow that equity. And so when he found land banking, he was like, wow, it's mind blowing for him how much more he could grow his equity in land rather than in his rental properties. So I have a lot of people who are doing 1031 exchanges, and even you don't have to do the whole 1031 exchange.
Yeah.
I've had people who've sold a building, bought another building, and maybe they had 50,000 left over. Rather
Hmm.
than paying it to the IRS, you might as
Yeah.
well use the government's money and invest it some more. So it's a great diversification for folks.
Hmm.
Um, Keeping in mind, land is a long-term investment. It's
Hmm.
not like the quick lottery, get rich quick type of scheme thing.
Yeah.
No, it's through the natural growth and progression of an area.
Hmm.
And even with that said, land is used for many, many things. Most people think about housing, right? Or commercial developments. There's so much more. And actually, the largest land rush in California's history is happening right now, all for energy.
So you mean we can actually invest locally within California?
Yes, all in very specific targeted areas in
Hmm.
California. And I go into great detail about that on my land banking webinar. So if people want to watch that and
Sure.
get more information, you can go to dirtisgold.com or email me at marcella@dirtisgold.com, and I can always get more information to you guys.
Sure, yeah, that's amazing. So, tell us more. I know I love to like learn a little bit more. So, is it mostly like solar farms, or is it based on what is work? Like 60 years is long. I don't think there was solar farms 60 years ago.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, so like, is the investments currently mostly in solar farms? Is it warehouses? Is it multifamily? Like, what are the assets that are being used right now?
Yeah. So the different zonings of land.
Hmm.
Um, so I'll talk about me personally. I personally own over 4.5 million square feet of land in the most high growth areas. And
Hmm.
that includes land that's zoned residential, mixed use,
Okay.
business park, heavy industrial, light
Hmm.
industrial, and then my favorite these days, green energy land.
Hmm.
So land needed for massive utility scale solar, wind, battery energy storage projects.
Hmm.
So there are mandates on the books here in California that says 100% of California's energy must come from alternative energy sources by the year 2045. Now
Hmm.
that has been many years in the making, all the way back since 2005.
Hmm.
California has been implementing goals to go greener, to have a
Hmm.
cleaner, greener future, environment, etc.
Hmm.
And as a result of that, we happen to know the number one location in California where these massive utility projects are going in. Literally, international investors are coming here and building these projects out. Plus, the major utility companies are spending billions of dollars on the infrastructure, so the high tension power lines. And what, most people hear, oh, okay, we're going green. Great. But looking into the future for California economically, so California is the fourth largest economy in the world.
Hmm.
There are only three nations bigger than California:
Yeah.
Germany, China, and the United States.
Yeah.
That's it. And then there's California. And so, California, by getting ahead with energy independence, especially since everything is going electric, look at the cars. We were talking about, the bikes and the scooters, and everyone has their cell phones and their everything is plugged in, right?
Yeah.
If our energy goes off, it's like a huge crisis.
Yeah.
And even more than that, AI. That has kind of hit the world by storm in the last couple years. It's been crazy. Everything AI this, AI that. But these massive data centers, which by the way take a lot of land, require even more energy. It's significant. They've done studies, it takes 30 times more energy to do an AI inquiry versus a Google
Oh yeah.
search.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it keeps
Great.
growing.
Yeah. And it's
So
I
California
and I
is
think
setting
that
themselves
yeah,
up for a beautiful and bright future.
Yeah, and we're just at the start of AI. I think the AI is going to be here for a very long time. It's going to be pretty local. Like the heavy investments is done in certain regions, it's going to stay there. The data centers, the infrastructure, the warehouses. I just data house. The data centers, I almost mix them up with warehouses because they look so similar many times. And I've been a data center manager for some time, and it's just crazy how much stuff goes into it. And the amount of investment that is required to set this thing up, it's not going to move. It's going to be here for a long time, and the best part, it's going to be all green with what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. And well, and it's not just California that has the goals to go 100% green. So Meta, Google,
Mhm.
Apple, Microsoft,
Yeah,
Amazon, Walmart. You start looking at all the Fortune 500 companies, they have all committed to going green too.
yeah,
So they're the guys building these data centers and they have their own commitments to going green.
Mhm.
And where's all the energy going to come from?
Yeah, yeah.
So, as an example, Amazon, you mentioned Amazon. I love Amazon.
Hmm.
I can buy stuff any time of day. Amazon is the number one car on my road in my neighborhood every single day. And oh, and by the way, the Amazon trucks, I don't know if you've noticed them, they're electric.
Hmm.
So we need a bunch of energy just to power Amazon trucks.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get into all everything else. And then Amazon warehouses. They want to be within a 100 to 200-mile radius of the major metro market so that they can get their goods to people within a very
Hmm.
short time frame. Well, we know exactly where these types of warehouses and fulfillment centers are going for all the
Hmm.
Amazon goods.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, right now, one of the many projects under construction, solar projects right now, where we're investing is a 13 square mile solar farm. That's like the size of an entire city. They're building
Yeah.
it in less than 2 years. Well, guess what? It's not the state of California who bought the energy from that one. It was Amazon for
Hmm.
their data center. It's like mind blowing to see how much land is needed just for Amazon
Hmm.
in all the different aspects of it. So now
Yeah.
that you start looking at the bigger picture, and that's why we have seen over $100 billion being invested in this particular area for solar infrastructure, battery energy storage systems. And now we're no longer having brownouts and blackouts because we now are setting ourselves up. California, by the way, is at about 60% green energy
Hmm.
nowadays. And so we've set ourselves up to not go through those problems.
Yeah, yeah, that is amazing. So, tell us a little bit more about you. Like like what is this what you're doing full time right now? What are some of your hobbies? And whom do you like to help with the investments?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a loaded question.
I know it's
um,
multiple
who,
different things. Sorry.
well, I'll start with who I like to help with the investment
Yeah.
since we're on the investment track. I love working with people who are looking to diversify, looking
Mhm.
for an alternative investment. People who have said things like what I've said, the only way my 401k goes up is when I put money into it.
Yeah.
Or if they've said, I'm sick of tenants, toilets, and termites, or I wish I could figure out how to invest in green energy, or I'm just looking for good returns. I'm never going to be able to save enough money for
Mhm.
retirement, or I need to do a 1031 exchange. Those are definitely folks that I can help. And as far as things I love to do on my personal time, actually when COVID hit, I was really going deeper into my own spiritual growth.
Mhm.
And so I recently, after 4 years of very intense classes through Agape International Spiritual Center, I got licensed as a Agape licensed spiritual practitioner. So that's been amazing for myself, my relationships, just my life, my business, everything. And I also recently started a forgiveness class that I host every first Friday at 4 p.m. on Zoom for people to just find more freedom in their life because it's amazing all the unforgiveness we have and how it holds us back in our lives. So I do that kind of just as service because I enjoy helping people in many different ways. So spirituality is important to me. Also, I love to travel. I'm very fortunate that the company that I work with, they take all of their top reps around the world every year. I just got back from Scotland a couple of weeks ago, actually, and I get to take my top investors and referral partners. So that's been amazing. I've traveled the world with my company, and I absolutely love the outdoors. I was born and raised in a tiny little town, population 300, in northern New Mexico, up in the mountains. And I just spent my time running around like a wild animal. Outdoors. I love hiking. I love mountain biking. I love skiing. I love camping. All things outdoors. That's my thing. And I think I also fell in love with land because I grew up watching my parents invest in land all throughout New Mexico. And so it kind of just like was an easy, yeah, I totally get it. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's a multi-generational experience that you
It
bring to
is.
people, and
It
there
really
is a
is.
lot of value in that. It's like just knowing what is possible and having that experience of saying, okay, and the trust, right? Saying, irrespective of what is changing in the world, when you believe in something that has gone through multiple generations, that is more valuable than everything that's happening in the current affairs of whatever is going on.
Oh, for
And like just as you said, real estate, specifically land, is the real investment. Like the structure is always deteriorating.
right,
There is
right.
always all everything that happens inside this, like with the tenants or the usage of the place. All that is always it's a depreciating asset. It's the land that's actually appreciating.
Exactly. Well, and like I said, the IRS code says land is a non-depreciable asset. The IRS.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. So, and you did mention like you are open to like helping others. So, if somebody is new to doing this, they can still reach out to you, and you can answer their questions on and guide them in the right direction.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have a webinar that goes into great detail about who we are, where we invest, all the whys, all the things. So if you want to watch that, please get in touch with me. Again, you can go to dirtisgold.com and get more information.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks a lot. So, before we conclude this episode, any other final thoughts that you would like to share with everyone?
Just, I appreciate being here. I appreciate everyone for being on the journey to improve your life, improve yourself. I know it's a lifelong journey, so congratulations to those of you who follow Amish and listen to his valuable insights and information. It's applaud yourself, congratulate yourself. I don't
Yeah,
think we do that enough.
and yeah, a lot of people differentiate themselves just by doing the right things, right? Like by listening, by educating themselves. I think people just get to learn, and the best part is they get to network with people that they didn't know. We are like Marcella has been right here. Like, what's the chance I would have known about her if it wasn't for this podcast?
Exactly, exactly. No, I'm very grateful that I was referred to talk to you, Amish. I think you have a lot to offer to your folks, and I'm really grateful to be a part of it. And one last thing, follow your gut in everything in life. I mean, that's what I did with this investment. When I first saw it, it was just like this instant gut feeling. Mother Nature never lies.
Yeah, yeah. And even before we conclude, I also wanted to like thank Brent to get us introduced. Thank you, Brent. So when you're listening to this, we do miss you. We will reach out to you as well for everything else. But and thanks Marcella for jumping on this call on a very short notice and sharing your very valuable insights.
Thank you for having me, Amish. My joy.
Welcome to Main Street Minds with your host, Amish Munshi. This is where industry leaders and seasoned pros share their secrets to success beyond limits. Let's dive in.